This is the City Council Rewind, and with Assistant City Manager of Administration, Norm Stevens, I am Aaron McCulloch, Director of Communications for the City of Broken Arrow. And Mr. Stevens, we are here to recap the City Council meeting from Tuesday, August 15th. You presented to the council, talked to them about our fireworks ordinance. Why now? Why were we talking about fireworks here on August 15th?
You know, it's an interesting question, and the reason is pretty simple. Every year after the 4th of July, the Independence holiday, you get both fantastic, comments that they love the way that we do our fireworks permit. And then on the other side, you get the equal amount of people who are not happy that it happened, that it disrupted their lives, that it caused them stress, caused their animals stress. And they complain to staff and to council. I wish I could sit here and say that there's a perfect answer to that dilemma, but there's really not. It keeps people on each side of the fence. And I don't think that those who are against it, you can never bring them on the side of the fence where they're for them, and vice versa.
You have a background of law enforcement. Talk about the challenges that comes with enforcing, permits.
Well, there's several challenges. One is the fact that it's a misdemeanor to discharge without a permit. And as a misdemeanor, the only way a police officer can issue a citation or make an arrest is if the infraction happens right in front of him or by signed complaint from someone who had happened in front of them. We will get numerous calls throughout the evening on July 3rd and July 4th, and each time they may be asked, would you be willing to sign a complaint against your neighbor who's popping fireworks? And as you can imagine, most of the time, people are not interested in doing that. They simply want it to stop. Well, if the officer shows up and nobody's popping fireworks, then he can't take action against it.
And from what I understand, this year we had somewhere in the neighborhood of 100, 106, 110 calls to the police department. And I think there were roughly 12 citations that were issued.
We want to encourage neighborhoods to get together. We want to encourage neighbors to enjoy the Independence Day celebration together, but there has to be certain guidelines for them to do it under. And the permit is one of them. I had a unique position back in 2005, 2006, I was actually on a committee to examine this very issue. And we sat down and we discussed it. We came up with, if we can't stop it, let's try to control it in a certain amount of time. So we set that up on July 3rd and July 4th during certain hours. And then if people were shooting them outside those hours or without a permit, there can be a hefty fine attached to it. And council voted to take it ultimately to a vote of the people. And the vote of the people came back around, I think, 62, 63% in favor of allowing fireworks to be legal on those days with a permit.
Well, let's talk about what City Council decided to do. The councilors requested city staff to increase the frequency of its messaging about the dates and hours discharging fireworks are allowed. They want staff to work with homeowners associations in the community to help share the message about fireworks permits with its membership. And because voters approved fireworks being shot off in city limits, they suggested that citizens who would like another vote of the people to consider an initiative petition to determine support for a future ballot proposition. And the next thing we're going to talk about is parking here in the Rose District. So on Tuesday night, council awarded a contract to Magnum Construction for an additional 110 parking spots north Broken Arrow. As a former economic development manager here of the city of Broken Arrow, what does this mean for development possibly towards the north end of downtown Broken Arrow?
Oh, it's very exciting. For people who are familiar with our Rose District, the north end there is a structure there called the Brio, and it has apartments on the second floor on up. The ground floor has restaurants and different storefronts. And whenever we started doing that project and worked in a public-private partnership, there was not a whole lot of parking in the north end of the Rose District. So immediately we knew that we had to try to find available parking in order to add to that area so that those living in the apartments could park there and those visiting the stores could park in a parking lot close by. We took a run over several pieces of property. We're not able to come to a conclusion on what to pay, how much to pay for them. We went back to the church and said, hey, you have a parking lot that is little used at College in Detroit off of First Street. Why don't we do a partnership? We will bring it up to the standards that we all want. We will lease that from you. You can still use it for church services, but we'll also make it available public parking.
Free public parking.
Free public parking. And we were able to do that. It's going to help everyone. It's helping the church. It's helping us bring their parking lot up to a standard that they will like. And it's certainly going to help those who want to come and shop in the award-winning Rose District.
And some other items of note on the agenda Tuesday night was the study about Aspen Landing. There was an agreement with a consulting firm for design services to widen Lynn Lane between Washington and New Orleans Street. And there was also an update on the progress of the Innovation District in South Broken Arrow. So to learn more about these items or any other item on the agendas, go to brokenarrowok.gov and click on Agendas and Minutes under the Government tab. Complete the search field, select the time frame, and pick the governing body. That's it for this edition of City Council Rewind. Thanks for watching. And as we always say, we look forward to seeing you around Broken Arrow, the city where opportunity lives.
Thank you for watching. This is a production of the City of Broken Arrow, the city where opportunity lives.